Hi there, Marcie here. So I'm about to make almond milk before I go to bed, and I thought I would bring you in on the process. So I've had these nuts soaking. This was a cup of almonds. I've had soaking now for, gosh, about a day and a half. And typically I will soak them about 24 hours. You need to soak them at least overnight. And what happens, I buy raw unpasteurized almonds, so they're sproutable. And when they begin to sprout, it actually intensifies the nutrients in the nuts. And you'll also notice the water's very cloudy. I've rinsed these out once. After about 8 hours, 10 hours, I rinse them off. But what happens is you're throwing off the phytic acid. And when you get rid of the phytic acid, it helps the nuts be more digestible, but it also makes them more what they call bioavailable, which means you're better able to absorb the nutrients. So that's one of the reasons that nut milks are easier to digest. Some people that can't digest nuts can actually, or nut butters can actually handle nut milks just fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is rinse these off, and I'm just going to put them through a colander here, and you won't be able to see into the sink, but I'm just giving them a really, really, really good rinse. Shake them around. You want to get all that stuff off. Okay, and I'm just going to drain them. I'm going to put them right in my blender. Okay, that, as I said, was a cup of nuts. Now, I've pre-measured here. This is 4 cups of water. If you want thicker almond milk, you can do 2 cups of water. If you want thinner almond milk and make it last, a little longer, you can do 6 cups of water. I'll tell you that the almond milk, you shouldn't make more than you can use in about 3 to 4 days because it will go bad. And it's a little scary when you see the shelf life of the nut milks that you buy in the store. The other main difference with the nut milks you buy in the store is if you taste them straight from the carton, you really don't taste any almond. I don't know what the percentage of nuts to water is, but they're mostly water. When you taste this, you get a frothy, flavorful almond milk. So, okay, so now they're just in the blender, and if you have a high-powered blender like a Blendtec or a Vitamix, you're going to blend it for just 45 seconds. If you have a lower power blender like a Ninja or a Hamilton Beach or something like that, you're going to blend it for about 2 minutes. So I'm going to pause you while I go blend this for 45 seconds, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I just blended that for 45 seconds, and you can see it's all nicely blended in here. The Vitamix really does a nice job. Now, this is a nut bag. You can get them on Amazon for about $8. And if you don't have a nut bag, you can actually use an old stocking if you happen to have one, or you can use cheesecloth. You just have to get the cheesecloth kind of into this shape and be a little careful with it. With the nut bag, you want to use a wide bowl, something that has some height to it though, and just put the nut bag right in there. And I just pour this right in. And if you're making a smoothie right after it, you don't need to wash your blender in between. Okay, so then this is really the making of the almond milk. You just squeeze it right through the bag. It takes, a little bit of time. Doesn't take any muscle at all. You can see it just coming right out and filling the Pyrex bowl. And I do this I was out to dinner tonight, and it's late. My husband's already gone to sleep. My dog's already gone to sleep. And I was like, oh, I have to make the almond milk before I go to sleep so I can have my smoothie in the morning. Okay. So I like to get out every last drop. So to a cup of almonds, I put in, as I said, 4 cups of water. And I'm going to get about a little shy of 5 cups. And you can add, I don't add anything because it depends. I make so many different kinds of smoothies. Um, but you can add, sometimes I'll put in, like, this is simply organic vanilla extract, and this is an organic liquid stevia. But I tend to just put them in my smoothies when I want to add those flavors. Okay, that's about as good as it's going to get. Now with the stuff that's left in the nut bag, you can actually use this for, you can make crackers from it. It's not as flavorful as almond meal, so you wouldn't use it in place of almond flour. I often just toss it, to be honest with you. And here you have a nice, look at that, container of almond milk. And I'm just going to rinse this out. Again, you want to rinse it out well. I have milk bottles that you can use, or you can just put it right back into making a mess, the mason jar that that you soak the almonds in. This Pyrex thing's a little drippy. You can also use a funnel. And see, I have more than I started with, which is lovely. Okay, I think that's good for now. And what I'm going to do in another mason jar tomorrow is I'm just going to put a cup of nuts in. I'm going to cover it with filtered water, and you just let it sit out on the counter overnight, and you're good to go. Okay, you all? Have a good night. Bye-bye. In case you happen to still be watching, I just poured what was left, and I just want you to see how rich that is. See how it leaves a film on the glass? And it's rich and tasty, and you can tell it's almond milk, like it's supposed to taste. Okay, now I'm really going now. Good night.